what is element locator? Say, it is an address that identifies a web element uniquely within the web page. See, it is an address. It is an address that identifies a web element. Web element means shaded box or check box or button or link, image, etc. Web element uniquely within a web page. Within a web page. Okay. Next, Selenium supports 8 type of locators. 8 type of locators to identify elements in web pages. See, Selenium supports 8 type of locators to locate or identify or recognize, to locate or identify synonyms, identify or recognize elements in web pages. Elements in web pages. What are the see some HTML? These locators belong to HTML. What are the 8? ID, open and close parenthesis. Why I am using this symbol? It requires argument. For providing arguments, open and close parenthesis required. It is not a method. Method syntax also same. It is not a method. Then why we are writing open and close parenthesis? It requires argument. That value of ID. Value of ID is argument. What is value of ID? Suppose username is value of name. OK is value of ID. Next, name. Next, class N capital, class name. Next, tag name. Next, linkText. Next, partial linkText, L capital, T also capital. Partial linkText. Next, CSS, cascading style sheets. CSS selector. Next, xpath, XML expression of the element. These 8. But we no need to use all locators for recognizing any element. We can use any one unique element from these elements. Suppose already I told, for example, man objects is having multiple locators: name, surname, color, height, width, weight, etc. Age also one locator. But we no need to use all locators for recognizing any person. Generally, we use name. Okay. Here also same. It supports, Selenium supports 8-element locators, but we no need to use all locators. You can use any one unique locator. Getting the point? Now tell me, Akila, Selenium supports 8-element locators. These are HTML locators belong to HTML. What are they? Tell me. What are they? ID, name,
class name, tag name, linkText, partialLinkText, classSelector, xpath.
Okay, good. Okay, now Saurav Ghosh.
Yes, sir.
Next, why we need to use different locators for locating elements. Observe this point carefully. Why we need to use different locators for locating elements? Suppose in our web application, 20 pages are there. Each page is having 20 elements, 20 into 20, 400 elements in our application. For all 400 elements, why can't we use ID or name? Here, reasons. First one, all locators may not visible for every element. All locators may not visible. I will show. See. All locators may not visible for every element. This is one reason. Using available locators only we choose. Observe. Launch this Google Home. Place mouse pointer on Gmail and right click. We inspect elements using browser built-in feature. Feature is called developer tools. Selenium doesn't inspect elements. Browser inspects. Inspect. Observe this one. Observe this sky blue color highlight in this HTML info. Here, angular bracket open. After angular bracket, A is there. That is tag name. A for anchor. Next, class is there. Class means class name. Class value is there. GB underscore something. Next, ID not available. Next, name not available. Next, suppose you can get xpath and cssselector. Next, it is a link element. LinkText is visible text, Gmail. partialLinkText, you can use part of the LinkText. So out of 8 locators, we have 6 locators for this. 6 locators available for this one. Next, this edit box, search box. Inspect this element. Observe here tag name available. What is the tag name? Identify, Saurav. What is the tag name? After angle bracket?
Input.
Yes, input is the tag name. Next, class available. Next, name available. Okay. Next, type is not element locator. Name available. Next, xpath and CSS selector available. ID not available. ID not
Sir,
available.
how can I see if there is a same element with same name?
Pardon?
Like this text box have a class name. Is
Ah.
it possible to have a same class name for another element?
Yes, possible.
How can I check this one here?
By conducting dry run. See, if you have duplicate element values, by conducting dry run, you can change the unique locator.
Oh, by only
By conducting dry run.
after dry run.
See, you can't observe. Suppose in our class, suppose one class is there. In that class, 40 members are there. I know one Saurav, one person is there in our class. Suppose if I call Saurav, 2 persons are presenting. That time I can go for another locator, unique locator, surname or something. Getting?
Yes, sir.
By conducting dry run only, we can identify that duplicates. Getting?
Yes.
So before that, we can't identify that one. That is a time-taking process and a lengthy process. See, first, all locators may not visible for every element. This is one reason. Okay, na Akila? You have any objection?
Yes, sir. No.
Next, some locators are not applicable for every element. See, some locators are not applicable for every element. For example, link text, link example, link text and partial link text, partial link text. See, these locators only applicable for link elements. Link elements, Saurav Ghosh. We can't use link text locator for buttons, edit boxes like elements. Only for link elements. Getting the point?
Yes, sir.
And one more thing. In this scenario, user point of view, user interface design point of view, we have 2 types of links. One is text link. One is text link. Observe. Gmail link in Google homepage. It is text link. Text link. For example, Selenium.dev. Here test boards link is there. Test boards link is there. How can you say? Observe, it is showing hand icon. Generally, we get hand icon for link elements. Otherwise, inspect this one. Tag name, A for anchor. See, generally, tag name A for links, but it is not text link. It is not text link. It is image link. See, it is redirecting to another page. Functionality is same, but image link. For image links, we can't use link text or partial link text. This is the second reason. Next, one more reason. Some locators may be duplicated. Some locators may be duplicated. I will show an example. Observe, Saurav. Earlier you asked. For example, our project, sample project is there. Sample project. User interface. That is admin interface. Here, customer registration page. See, in this registration page, we have two radio buttons, male, female. It is mandatory element. We need to check, we need to select either male or female for filling this form. Suppose I want to select female. Inspect this female. Inspect this female. It is showing. Just a minute. Place mouse pointer on the element and right click, inspect. Observe. Observe, Akila. What is the tag name?
Input that invalid.
Input. Type radio. Type is not element locator. Next, name available. Name gender. Name gender. Next, value locator. Value is not Selenium supported locator. Okay, I have name. Name gender. Suppose ID not available. I am giving next priority to name. I am using name gender and conducting dry run. If it is working fine, then I will continue. Otherwise, I can go for another locator. Suppose observe this male, it may not work. Gender may not work. Why? Observe, inspect this male. Observe thorough. This one also tag name input, name value gender na for this male radio.
Yes.
Suppose if I use this gender for female radio button, it won't work. Why? It is duplicated. That time I need to choose another locator, xpath like. How can I identify that one? I can't inspect other elements. That is time taking process. Instead of that, if suppose my feeling is name may work. First, I will use name value gender for female radio and conduct a dry run. That female radio is not recognizing. That time I can change that one. Getting?
Yes, sir.
Some are duplicated. Next, fourth reason. See, tag name locator. Tag name locator is not recommendable. Since it is duplicated for most of the elements. Tag name is not recommendable. See, these are the four reasons. We use different locators for different. What is that one? Tag name is not recommendable. Observe. Suppose first name 8 box is there. Inspect this one. Place mouse pointer on this 8 box and right click. Inspect. Tag name is input. Tag name is input. Name is first name. Next, last name. Inspect. Tag name is input. Name, last name. Name unique. Next, inspect this DOB. Inspect. Tag name, same input. Name DOB. ID also available. ID DOB. Here, observe Akila. Tag name is duplicated now. Hello.
Wait, which one, sir? Tagging?
Tag name is duplicated now for more elements. See,
Sir, one from
your voice is not reaching properly. Huh? I'm finding more difficulty to understand your explanation. First thing. Second thing, you are not focusing more. What I explained, Saurav Ghosh?
Tag name, which is duplicate for most of the elements.
Most of the elements. I already show that example now. Suppose in that form, first name 8 box, last name 8 box, and date of birth 8 box, all 3 8 box having same tag name input. So we can't use tag name for those elements now.
No, sir, tag name is already there, right, sir?
Pardon?
Last name, first name, it is mentioned, right?
Last name, first name. What are last name, first name? What are last name, first name? Name locator
ID,
values. B sharp.
locator.
Name locator values. Observe. Suppose first name. Inspect.
Yes.
What is the tag name for this one? After angular bracket.
Input.
Input. That's it. Next, space. Type. Type is not element locator. Next, space. Name. Name is one of the element locator. What is the name value?
First name.
First name not belongs to tag name na.
Oh, okay, sir.
Name locator value.
First name is a tag name.
First name is not tag name. Name value.
Name, okay.
Next, last name. Observe, inspect. What is the tag name for this element?
Name.
Tag name for element.
Input, sir.
Input. Next, name locator value.
Last name.
Last name. Name locator is different from tag name na.
Yes.
Here focus on tag name. What about tag name? Tag name. Is it duplicate or not?
Yes, sir, duplicate.
That is I am telling. Any problem?
No.
Okay. What about you, Saurav Ghosh?
No, sir, no problem. So
Okay.
tag name is a one kind of element locator,
One kind of
which is
now,
duplicate.
in those for those elements, name locator is unique. For first 8 box, name locator value first name, next last name, next DOB. But tag name is same for all elements. Input. Getting?
Yes, sir.
Now tell me, Saurav, why we need to use different locators for locating elements? Why can't we use a single locator for all elements in your web application?
All locators may not be available for all elements.
Yes, all locators are not visible for every element in our application. Next.
Some locator may not applicable for.
May not. Strictly. Some locators are not applicable. That's it. No conclusion. Observe. Some locators are not. Strictly say.
Yes. Not
Okay.
applicable. Yes.
Suppose if you say may not is doubtful. But here no doubtful. Strictly say. Continue. Some locators are not applicable for every element. Example, linkText and partialLinkText. These locators are only applicable for link elements, the two text links, not image links. Okay. Next, third one.
Some locators can be duplicate.
Here you can use maybe. All locators may not be duplicated. So some locators may be duplicated. Okay.
Yes.
Next, fourth one.
Fourth one, I
Tag
forgot.
name. Tag name.
Okay,
Tag name is not recommendable.
Tag name locator not recommendable.
Recommendable. Why? Since it is duplicated for most of the elements. Who is telling tag name is not recommendable? I am not telling. You are not telling. Selenium official documentation is telling. Getting the point?
Yes.
That is the authority. I am not the authority. You are not the authority. See, observe. Selenium.dev. Here, documentation. Where is that one? Guidelines. Worst practices. Gmail test dependency. Here not available. Just a minute. Element locating elements. Installing. See, whenever you find a leisure time, go through this documentation. Just a minute. Recently they updated this documentation. Locating elements. Observe here, Saurav Ghosh, tips on using selectors. Here selector means locator. Selector means locator. Here observe what they are telling.
Tag name is dangerous.
Tag name can be a dangerous way to locate elements. There are frequently multiple elements of the same tag present on the page. Getting?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
In interviews also, if you face this question, yes, in Selenium official documentation from selenium.dev, we got this point. Tag name is dangerous. Okay. Next tips. Tips on using selectors. Synonym, selectors are locators. Say most used term locator, selector also correct. Say notes I will provide. Observe my explanation. First point, in general, if HTML IDs are available, they are unique. Give first priority to ID. And why first priority? Why we need to give first priority to ID? Reason is they tend to work very quickly. IDs are faster in locating elements. This is one point. Observe, Akila. In general, if HTML ID is available, then give first priority to ID. Why?
It will work faster.
It works faster. Next, if ID is not available, then give name locator. Next, suppose if it is text link, a Gmail link in Google homepage. If it is text link, you no need to inspect elements. Just use linkText or partialLinkText. When we go for partialLinkText, I will explain. Give priority to linkText. You no need to inspect the elements. LinkText is visible text. Next, tag name can be dangerous way to locate elements. There are frequently multiple elements of the same tag present on the web page. But in some rare scenarios, we use tagName. Okay. When we use tagName, that we will discuss in writing Selenium test cases chapters. Okay. Next, suppose if ID is not working, name is, suppose ID is there, duplicated, name is there, duplicated. Next, class name not available. Next, linkText is not applicable. That is not link element. That time go for cssselector or xpath. Xpath is unique for every element. Then why can't we use xpath for every element if it is unique? Xpath is unique, but it is slower in execution. So give last priority to xpath, but it is unique. Getting?
Yes, sir.
This is about tips on using locators. Next, how we identify unique locators for our elements by conduct. We follow tips. Then we suppose I am using ID. ID is duplicated. How can I identify if the ID is duplicated? By conducting dry run only, na?
Yes, sir.
Sample run. Okay. See, observe this question and answer. How we identify unique locators for elements. First, we follow tips for using locators. Next, by conducting dry run, we identify. Okay. Next, how to inspect elements. How to inspect elements. I think you are we indirectly used that one, not indirectly, directly only. You can easily say this the answer for this question, Saurav Ghosh. How we inspect elements?
By inspecting.
Using browser. Browser na?
Yes, browser and inspect
Browser built-in developer
features.
or you can say built-in feature. Name is built-in developer tools. Okay. See,
Okay.
observe this point. Element locators. Element locators are same for all browsers. All browsers. Just a minute. First, we inspect web or HTML elements using a browser, web browser. Using a web browser. Next, element locators are same for all browsers. All browsers. So, we can use any one of those browsers, any one of the browsers to inspect elements. Earlier, 4 or 5 years back, we used separate plugins for inspecting elements. But nowadays, all browsers are having built-in features for inspecting web elements. Suppose if it is Mozilla Firefox, built-in feature available for inspecting elements. How to inspect, I will show. I already shown that built-in feature name, page inspector. Next, earlier I already told 3-4 years back, in that old versions of Mozilla Firefox browser, we didn't have built-in feature. That time we used just an idea. Firebug. Next, Firepath plugins. Plugins to inspect elements. But nowadays, you no need to install any plugins. You can inspect using built-in features. Suppose launch Mozilla Firefox. Google. This is edit box. Place mouse pointer on the element and right click. Inspect element. Observe. tagName input. Next, class means class name. What is the name locator value, Saurav? What is the name locator value? Q. Like this. Suppose this button. Place mouse pointer on this one. Inspect element. Button. tagName input. Class. Label. Google sets. Label is not the element locator. Next, name is there. Name locator is there. Okay. This is about inspecting elements in Mozilla Firefox browser. Okay. Next, suppose if you want to use Google Chrome, you can use. Suppose Google Chrome. Next, one more popular browser, Microsoft Edge. Here also built-in feature available. Built-in feature. In interview, you may face this. What is the built-in feature of Google Chrome for inspecting elements? That is developer tools. Shortcut key F12. Developer tools. For Microsoft Edge also built-in tool, developer tools. Just a minute. Google Chrome. Suppose inspect this Google edit box. Place mouse pointer on the element and right click inspect. Observe tagName input. What is the name locator value?
Q.
Same na in Firefox also we inspected na.
Yes.
Next, suppose Microsoft Edge. Place mouse pointer on the element and right click, inspect. Here observe what is the name locator value.
Q.
What is the tag name value?
Input.
Input. Earlier also in Firefox and Chrome also same value na.
Yes.
This is about inspecting elements. Now you tell me, Saurav Ghosh, how to inspect web or HTML elements for Selenium? How to inspect? How to inspect HTML or web elements?
By web browser
Using
built-in feature.
a browser, any browser, using a browser built-in feature. Getting?
Yes.
Next, element locators are same for
All the browsers.
all the browsers, same for every browser. So we can use any browser to inspect elements. Next, for example, Mozilla Firefox built-in feature. Here feature name is page inspector. Next, Google Chrome built-in feature.
Developer tools.
Developer tools. Next, Microsoft Edge built-in feature. Developer tools.
Developer tools.
Developer tools. Next, how to inspect? Launch browser and navigate to your web application. Place mouse pointer on your on an element. Right click and inspect. Then you can get HTML info. Getting? Next,
Yes, sir.
xpath and CSS selector. How to get xpath and CSS selector? Suppose I want to get linkText locator for this Gmail. For that, I no need to inspect. LinkText is visible text. Gmail. Suppose another link is there, images link. I want to inspect. I no need to inspect linkText. That is, linkText is visible text. Images. Okay. Suppose I want to get xpath or CSS selector for Gmail. How to get? First, place mouse pointer on the element and right click, inspect. Here again, place mouse pointer on the highlighted HTML info and right click, copy xpath, copy selector. Suppose I am getting xpath. Next, just a minute. This is the xpath value. Getting now?
Yes, sir.
Next. Suppose Akila, get xpath locator value for this Google search button. This is button element. Get xpath value for Google search button.
Okay, right click, sir.
Place mouse pointer on the
Google search.
Google search button and right click. Inspect. Next.
After that.
Place mouse pointer on the highlighted HTML info. The sky blue color. And again right click.
Right click.
Next.
Go to copy.
Copy xpath. You can place this value in your test script or test case. This is the xpath. Getting?
Sir.
This is about Saurav Ghosh. This is about inspecting elements. For inspecting elements, Saurav Ghosh, no Selenium contribution.
Yes,
Why?
it's a browser built-in feature.
Here no Selenium contribution. Why? Element locators belong to HTML technology.
Yes.
Element locators not belongs to Selenium or Java or some other. They belong to HTML. We launch HTML pages using browser na. So using browser only we can inspect elements.